A warning for drivers about a scam we are seeing more often in our area. The California Department of Insurance says some tow truck companies are targeting accident victims and then holding their vehicles until a big payment is made. The warning tonight, be on alert. Now, it is happening throughout Southern California on streets and freeways. And if you're in a car accident, it could easily happen to you. We're riding along with the LAPD during the morning rush hour. Officers looking for what they call bandit tow trucks.
This is obviously a bandit tow.
Ones that show up at traffic collisions, hoping to dupe crash victims out of thousands of dollars. Nigel Sherry's family got caught up in the scam.
One of the things they'll do real quick, just to put, someone will act like he is a witness. He'll go, "Hey, Scott, I saw, whatever your name is, my name's so-and-so. I saw everything. I'll be your witness. Give me your phone number." And Scott, you'll give him your phone number, right? What he does is he gives that phone number to his buddy who's running the tow company. And then they will call you saying, "Hey, your insurance company or your automatic OnStar told us you were involved in the accident. We're sending out a tow truck." So that guy who claimed to be a witness, he is actually there. And he calls, he goes, "Oh, yeah, give me your number. I saw everything. Yeah, you were totally in the right, you know." But all he's getting is intel to get your phone number, so then they can call and make it seem like they've been dispatched by your car, you know, talking to the cloud or someone, you know, magically. It's pretty crazy.
The watch.
Yeah, the watch. Yeah, all that stuff, huh? I lost it. I don't know where we're at here.
So, Mark, what recourse do you have?
These companies are just robbing you.
His teenage son was involved in a hit and run on a Friday night.
The car was drivable at the time, but something went wrong with the electronics and it just stalled out.
His son exited the freeway and was approached by a seemingly friendly man who said his uncle would tow his car for free.
So they said, "Yeah, we'll tow it for free, no problem." And that's when it was a nightmare. That's when the nightmare started.
Nigel says his car was towed to a storage lot 5 miles away, and when the tow operator opened back up on Monday, he told Nigel it would cost $2,300 to get his car back. Nigel tried to negotiate the price down, but the tower wouldn't budge. Instead, he filed to place a lien on Nigel's car. So Nigel finally paid the tower the $2,300 he demanded, all in cash.
It was a complete nightmare for us because we weren't sure if we were ever going to see the car again.
LAPD Lieutenant Scott Moffitt says
So the car is in storage and they're charging this outrageous, it's all illegal, but the car is still sitting there racking up these maybe fake charges. By the time law enforcement get around to handling that part of it, I mean, the car can be, you know, end up costing thousands of dollars, even though you just want to get the car back, right? And the insurance company wants to get the car back.
Are these guys legitimate?
No.
Have permits?
No, we're going to get into that. They're going to get into that. These are total scab companies working with body shops and storage yards to get rent out of their spaces over there where you're storing a car at $500 a day, whatever the storage fees are.
Pretty much stealing cars, isn't it? If you don't have
I was going to say, I don't want to arrest them for 35-1.
Well, the thing is, though, they are convincing you to give them the car.
Yeah.
They're so nice. And you're so in shock because you just been in an accident. Right?
Yeah, but they're using tactics that they're tricking you, so it doesn't matter. That aren't they still breaking, especially if they're not, you know, they don't have licenses to tow the cars.
Here's
and all
the
that.
Story again and again.
These scams are particularly advanced in that they've been in the industry for a long time.
Tow truck operators are supposed to obtain permits from the city through the police commission. But Lieutenant Moffitt says bandit tow trucks operate without a permit and charge sky-high fees.
It's particularly brazen, but it just demonstrates there's a lot of money to be made here.
Lieutenant Moffitt showed us a bandit tow playing out. He said the guy in the reflective vest is called a spotter. He races to the scene after hearing about the accident on a police scanner. He tells the victim that he witnessed the crash and he'll help by working with their insurance company or AAA to arrange a tow. But what he'll really do is call a buddy, an unpermitted tower, who will tow the car and hold it hostage until the owner forks over thousands of dollars to get it back. Lieutenant Moffitt says spotters and towers are slick and convince victims they're legit. And once a victim...
So in that scene there, you saw the officer in the background and there's a spotter there. The victim is actually saying, "No, this guy's going to take my car. I don't need you, officer," because he's doesn't realize he's being scammed, and he just wants
Right.
he just wants it taken care of. And these people are so friendly, and they're so convincing that they convince the people to go ahead and take the car. And then maybe there's some deeper insurance scam going there, but a lot of times these people are just like that guy on the show, where we just want to get our car back, and then do $2,300 for holding the car for 3 days.
Wow.
I know back in the day when we would go to an accident scene, you would tell them that their vehicle obviously needed to be towed. You go, do you want me to call you a tow? And we had tows that were in rotation that would come out and pick up the car.
Exactly.
But a lot of times they say, I have AAA. Can I have AAA come out and pick it up? Yeah, we'll have dispatch call you at AAA. And
Well, Greg, the answer Greg's question, would the police have assisted this victim if he had contacted him? Yes, the police officer would have come out and told him what was going on. But a lot of times these people are so charismatic, the cops will tell people that and they still don't care. Let's watch this and we'll get
Okay's a tow. All that police can do is cite the tower a minimal amount for failing to have a permit.
There are instances where we'll respond to these, and they're adamant they want this Bandit tow because they've just created that friendship in a very short amount of time.
In fact, that's exactly what happened at the next accident.
Right now, we're heading over to 59th and 8th Avenue for a traffic collision.
By the time we arrived, the spotter had already befriended the victim and called in a Bandit tow truck to haul away the victim's car.
These people are professionals of what they do, right? They understand that if they can gain your confidence, just like a typical con man, if I can gain your confidence, I'm going to make you believe that I'm doing you a service, right? And that's exactly what's happening here.
Lieutenant Moffat says Bandit tow trucks show up to accidents 90% of the time. So if you're in an accident, chances are you'll be approached by one.
Wow.
So San Jose PD, I remember you guys have commercial units that would go out and do commercial enforcement, right, of the vehicles, correct?
Correct.
And usually they were trained, worked with our commercial enforcement of the Highway Patrol. And that's the investigators that are leading this down in Southern California. There are commercial officers for the Highway Patrol that are showing LAPD and these other agencies how to deal and how to go after these trucks, because there are multiple violations on these trucks that you can use to put them out of service if you know what you're doing. But again, these other two officers here, they're not commercial officers, right? I was never a commercial officer. I knew some basic stuff. It wasn't my thing. But there are guys that specialize in this. They drive around looking for vehicles, trailers, tractors, tow trucks for these type of violations. And they can seize their vehicle and impound them. But there's just not that many officers that do that type of work. But right now, the LA City Attorney, the District Attorney's Office, the Highway Patrol, the LAPD, they are starting to focus in on this and trying to get some laws changed to make this a bigger penalty for doing this type of thing.
Those are the guys that wear the blue jumpsuits, right, Mark?
Yeah, so the Highway Patrol, they drive the pickup trucks, right? The big with the shells in the back?
Yeah.
Asked to see your permit. It should be a blue form. Take a picture of that permit along with the tower himself and his license plate. Better yet, if there are police at the scene, ask them to help you arrange a legitimate tow instead.
They're just bandits. Look out.
Now, some insurance companies will cover the cost of these Bandit tows, but if you ask them to pay for it, your premium may go up, or they might even drop you when your policy is up for renewal. The insurance industry is fighting this scam as well, but they say it will take state legislation to put an end to it.
So the other part of this whole thing, though, too, is they're not going to take a credit card. They want cash, right? They don't want something.
Because you can always call your credit card company.
Yes.
And fight them.
Yes, they want cash.
You tell them, no, if you can't take a credit card, then I'll get a tow truck that will. But
well, again, you don't pay Scott at the scene. You pay when you pick up your car on the other end, right? So yeah, they just want their car so then they can store it and then they can muscle you into like, oh, you got to pay this, man. You got to pay this. What's up? It's $500 a day here, right? Plus the tow fee, hooking up. That was another $800.
Yeah, they're not as friendly anymore. They're not friendly anymore.
No, they're not. They're scammers. These are crooks.
Yeah, it seems like to me though that it should be something that should be handled immediately through the state. They should enact these laws. I mean, it's just as silly as when all these what do you call that? Were stolen out of the bottom of cars. The what do you call those?
Catalytic converters.
And we allowed this to happen for so long.
Well, this is what
there's all kinds of things laws they could have enacted to make it so these guys couldn't do anything with them.
right. And this is what things are happening. They will come out with some sort of focused legislation to stop this. In the meantime, though, it's kind of a civil thing back and forth. And again, they have convinced they're not stealing a car because they convinced the person in possession of the car to take the car. Oh yeah, go ahead, take it. Again, think about it. Guy comes up to you and says, "Hey, I saw everything, man. Oh, you were totally in the right. Give me your number. I'm going to be a witness for you." Great. Well, okay. And then he's calling the tow truck that shows up, and they show up and they got logos, Lexus, Toyota, Tesla, whatever. Blah. They got all these different patches on their vehicle, on their shirts. Oh yeah,
Tesla,
I'm with the OnStar. They called me automatically. Yeah, I'm with your insurance. Oh, what other thing? The witness will say, "Hey, what's your insurance company?" In case they call me. Oh, I have Travelers. I have USAA. And then they give that information to the truck, right? Oh, I'm with USAA. Yeah, we got notified about your car. Like that. See, I got a USAA patch on my jacket.
Wow.
I mean, it is crazy the way this is going. I mean, we were going to go to LA actually and maybe drive around and listen to scanner calls and try to see some of these things happen live, because it happens all the time. And
it sounds like something that they can, if there's that many of them doing it and there's that many people involved in it, it sounds like a conspiracy to commit a crime.
There's that whole route there.
It's a confidence. It's a confidence game. It's a scam. And that it shouldn't be that hard to protect people from this.
Remember how long it took the state to pass laws to solve the salvage vehicles problems we had back then, where they were stealing the cars, stripping them, and then buying the frame of the car back at the insurance auction and putting all the parts back on it again with a salvage ID
surgical
on it.
Strips.
The surgical strips. We took it forever for the state to finally put a stop to that.
I remember calling insurance companies and fighting them about it and telling them, it's a really easy way to put a stop.
It's been going on. Yeah, it's been going on for years. All 50 states have this problem. Canada has this problem. It's still a thing that happens, and you can keep track of it in some ways. But I used to run into it in Oakland all the time. People would report their car stolen, and then they would buy it back. And then all of a sudden the car would come back together just the way it was, because it came back. We recovered it stripped. But these fraudsters have this stuff. Look, at people that commit insurance fraud, I don't care if you're reporting your car scratch for a paint job or saying something was stolen, what's not, a train going by. Hopefully my cat's not out there. There is you're a crook, right? I don't care.
Yep.
This is going on real quick. Go ahead.
That Studebaker story.
We're going to get into that. Hey, real quick though. Make sure you ask to see tower's permit, which should be blue form. That's in LA. Okay. Take a picture. Get your camera out. Take pictures of the truck, the numbers on the truck, the license plate of the truck. Picture of the guy. Oh, you're taking my car. I want your picture. Right? Picture. The witness. Grab his picture. Right?
Oh, crooks don't like to have their pictures taken.
Oh yeah. If the police are at the scene, ask them to help arrange a legitimate tow. You can do that. They'll call one of the rotations tows, like you talked about, Scott. Steve, beware of spotters. Again, remember, there are people that are looking. They're going to show up. I was a witness. I saw they're looking around, and they're on their phone.
How about this? Asking them, how much do you charge to store my car a day, and make them answer and videotape them answering, because if they, most of them aren't going to tell you that we're going to charge you $500. $500 a day.
That's actually in LA, in that part of Los Angeles. It is about $500 a day. Is the going rate.
Wow.
But there's rules on how long you can keep a car for, and the way you can store it, and the way these are permitted. There's actually rules that these guys are just, you could pay by credit card, or you could just say, here's my insurance company. My insurance company will take care of it. That one car was totaled. I mean, he ain't going to want that back, right? He's going to want the insurance payout on it. So he probably didn't care, but if you just got a minor accident, you want to get your car back, this is where it could really be an issue. Verify credentials, as Bandit tow trucks operate without permits and charge high fees. And so it could be more. They could be charging $1,000 a day. They'll try to do. Be cautious of friendly strangers. as spotters and
with candy
are slick and try to gain confidence to make you believe they are doing yourself a service, right? Beware. And so if a lady comes out and says, I'm trying to help you, and she's waving a flag, just be careful. All right. And then, so